Welcome, welcome. All right, so the flow of life, that's today's practice. And it's, I had this really profound, when you're just kind of waking up, realizing what kind of day have I created for myself and where am I as a human within this day. I was daunted by the me that created this class plan a few weeks ago. And then I had a conversation with somebody via text, which was super impossible to, they had lots of questions. So it looks like you view the creative center as more being in line with this and that and why and da 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 da. And I was like, you know what, I can't do this in person. Why don't you just take the damn class? They're not here, but and that's okay. You are. So welcome. And what are we going to do today? The flow of life as it relates to really learning to listen and become more sensitive and let the creative process of life flow in a way that we can really do some good. And that's what I'm interested in. Each of us are in a different place, in a different body, in a different awareness. And you think that you're not getting something, but actually you're getting exactly what you can take in that moment in time with the awareness and insights and body that you have. And so can we open to that flow and listen to what's pouring itself through you, even as it's being offered forth around and outside of you? That's that. Come down to your knees. Take one block to the top of your head. Hold it lightly with your other hand, with your hand. And like you're balancing a book there. Belly button back. Now, can you come to one hand down on your hands and knees? Push down through your hips, extend through your crown. Press your crown into the block. Yeah, you got that? No, because I can't show you that and turn my back to you and do it at the wall. You might have a wall or a couch or something where you can put this block here and take it to your wall and find this place where you feel like you can hold the shape of your spine, the strength of your being. Press from your hips down through your legs and long through your spine, and your shoulder blades are going to just sweep your arms out wide. And if you can do that with no pain in your neck, your shoulders, or anywhere else in your body, then you can try a Shirshasana 2. Maybe the arms go out wide, maybe they don't. Yeah, good job. How'd that feel? Unusual? Did it feel good? You got it? And I want you to do it again, and I'm going to watch. So I want you to get and here's a tip. I need you to figure this out. Where do you really focus the energy that you're pushing your crown out? So take three fingers like you're making a pledge, and start at your third eye, the bottom of the three fingers at the third eye, and then take the other one and make a stack, and then take the one that's on the bottom and put it here, and then where that index finger winds up, that spot right there, it's roughly where you would place the focal point, the energy of your head. And when you push that into the block, you want to make sure that your neck feels like it's an extension of your heart and your shoulder blades. And that when you do that, it actually feels good and freeing to the neck. So when you put that block up here, that's your spot. So I know where my spot is. It's right there. And you'll find that when you press it into the block. So it's not just the flat spot of your head. It's a little more toward your hairline. Yes, good. Can you find it, Adita? Did you find it? Aida? Okay. Feel good? All right. Now, how do you place your tripod? How do you place the hands so that you, when you come into a tripod, so a lot of people, they don't know, like, let's put your hands where they normally go for an all fours. Pretend you have that block and you're pressing your crown forward, and then bend your elbows. And you're going to have to come down in front of that spot, because when you pick your hips up, you'll have more power to find the spot, if that makes sense. So when you come down, remember, keep your shoulder blades up. And that way, when you put your feet down and lift up, you're going to find that spot. And then I need you to squeeze your elbows in towards the midline. Let's see what happens there. Try that. Elbows in, elbows in. They're not too wide. There you go. Pick up your knees, feet go wide. Now try to lift up through your tailbone, up through the tailbone. Okay, I see what's happening here. Got it. And come back down. Good. So for most of you, your hands were too close to your head. Huh? So we need a little more space. So when you set your shoulders down, it's hard to see because in my camera view, I can tell. You don't want your hands close to your head. You've got to keep the extension and come down. And then lift up. You also don't want them too far back towards your feet. So play with that. The other thing, if your elbows go too wide apart, like that, you're not connected to your shoulder blades. So squeeze the elbows, the wrists in, elbows in. And find that spot. When you lift your hips up, I need your waistline to your armpit to stay long. Better, Jen. Craig, walk your hands further towards your knees, a little bit further back. Yep, right there. So you want your elbow and your forearm to be roughly at a 90-degree. Very good. Awesome. Now just pause and keep your head down and your hips up. Head down, hips up, and some breathing. Maybe headstand isn't even getting your feet off the floor, which I would highly recommend for at least the first 5. At least the first 5. There we go. Good. And then child's pose. And you regroup. Okay. Let's refine just a little bit more. Come to the hands and knees. When you take your heart forward and you bend the elbows, and I want you to think about what if your hands could move, but they're fixed on the floor, but the energy is going to squeeze the thumb side of the wrist in, and that'll pull the elbows in, but your hand is fixed. The hand's gripped on the floor. So it's not really moving. It's as if it were moving. Try that. And just go down, squeeze the inside of the wrist, and as if your hands were going to turn out but they're not. And elbows in, and now heart way forward. And then set your head. Keep squeezing the wrists, the thumbs, and the elbows in as you push down to lift your hips. Yeah. Try that. Yes. Better. Bara, walk your hands further back. Yes, my friend. Nice, Aida. Keep squeezing the wrists and the elbows in. Good. Now press down through your head and lift up through your tailbone and come higher on the tippy toes. You got it. And down to child's. Good job. Better. Child's pose. Have a seat. Feet, legs wide, Upavishta Konasana with the backs of your hands, inside your knees. Squeeze your knees into the backs of your hands a lot. Squeeze in. And now from your hands, pull up the arm bone into your shoulder. So now imagine it's not just your knees, but it's also your ankles squeezing in your feet. As if you were going to pull the feet like a tractor beam into the midline. Actually, go ahead and try that. Squeeze, 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 but resist. All right. Trying to get up into Shirshasana 2 without disturbing the neck and all that stuff. We want to get to the place where you're rooting down from that intuitive center, the palate and the crown of the head, squeezing in with the arms, and then the legs. As you push down through the head, rise up through your tail, the legs tractor beam energetically towards each other, and it looks something like this. So instead of pulling the legs in, you're as if you're pulling the legs in, and that's going to pull you into your core. Then you have to root to rise with that energy. And then they start to pull to midline. Even as you spread the legs out, the energy is still pulling in. And then there's that spiral that's going to help you down. Namaste. Thank you.